Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider, man. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, make sure you guys wipe them feet. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. Slowly getting my voice back, you guys. It was completely gone yesterday. I was going to do this show last night or yesterday morning when I got back, but I had to rest a little bit. But we're getting there, getting back to full strength, and I am here to see my people, man. Salute to Big Mo, LV, my brother, man. Hey, I want to tell you this real quick, bro. I love you. I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to connect with you out there. That entire trip was a shit show from front to back. You know, we left early in the third quarter. I know that you weren't in Indy the entire time, so I know it was difficult for us to connect. But I will be in Vegas on the 15th. I'm doing an overnight studio session on the 15th before I go to Sacramento back home for a few days. So I will definitely connect with you then. So salute to my brother, LV Maximus, man. Tommy, man, Graphk, changing your swag, hard to put on. It's not that. You know, once again, look, is this team getting on my nerves? Definitely. Am I pretty much at my boiling point? Definitely. Do I feel broken over this football team at this point? Correct. But it's the Kings' first preseason game today. I'm ready for somebody else to let me down. You know, the Raiders have let me down for 5 weeks. It's only right I allow my Kings to start with a fresh start before they get eliminated by December. So, you know, our first preseason game today, I'm excited about something else outside of this. So, yeah, we're here, man. We're here. So, salute to my brother Mateo. That jersey's fire, my brother. Yeah, you know, I got the J Will on, man. I was going to pull out the Chris Webber or the Doug Christie, but I said, you know what? Let me go white chocolate today. So, salute to you. Yes, Callie, from one trauma to another, man. We don't know any better, right? That's all we know. That's all we know, man. That's all we know. But guess what? Light the beam. Light the beam. A lot to talk about today, you guys. We are going to go over a little bit over this Indianapolis shit show. I didn't really get a chance to do really, truly any shows in Indianapolis because we were on the go so much. I know I did some stuff on the phone and some stuff in the Airbnb, but I didn't really get a chance to really go in depth like we do when I'm home on these Coffee and Convo shows. So I definitely want to talk about that game. Want to talk a little bit about this team moving forward. I just want to talk about how broken this football team is and how laughable and how unserious this franchise is. I don't know if you guys seen this morning, but Ian Rappaport broke some news today just to kind of throw a little bit more salt in the wound for us Raider fans. You know, we lose our best linebacker, Germaine Pratt, you know, Pete Carroll and company. So the rumor is, you know, and once again, it's just allegations. It's just speculation. The rumor is that Germaine was calling some people out behind the scenes, and it sounds as though he got into it with a few players and a few coaches, right? You know, Germaine Pratt knows what a shit show looks like. He's played in Cincinnati before, you know, but I guess this is even more of a shit show than he's ever seen. 4 games into his career, and he's out of here. You know, there's no trade. The Raiders don't field any calls. They don't let anybody know that we're trying to move on from Germaine Pratt. They just outright release him. You don't think that we could potentially even get a late round pick for a guy that is a veteran guy that has been there and done that? Our best linebacker. You don't think we can get potentially a 6th round pick? Maybe at the bare minimum, a 7th round pick. At the bare minimum, maybe a late round pick swap. Something for the services of Germaine Pratt. Nothing? Okay, well, you know, guess what? Germaine Pratt tweets out some funny stuff after that Indianapolis game, and we're all thinking, what the hell is going on? Once again, another Raiders situation that we have to deal with. And then Ian Rappaport drops a bombshell today. The Colts are signing free agent linebacker Germaine Pratt to a 1-year deal, per me and Tom Pelissero. He is back with his defensive coordinator, Lou, with his time in Cincinnati. 4 teams called attempting to sign Pratt, but he lands with Indy. Salute to Lou. I want to say this because Lou, you know, one of Stu's former coaches, A really good dude. Every time we're on the road in Cincinnati, he's gotten us field passes, gotten us great seats. Indianapolis, this time he got us some field passes. We showed up a little late, so we didn't get to spend some time down there really on the field, which I don't really care because it was a shit show from the jump. But I want to say salute to Lou. And Cincinnati moved on from him, and look what they're doing in Indianapolis now. So it looks as though if you give this guy some talent there on the defensive side of the ball, he could do his thing. And once again, also salute to Greg Olson, our quarterback's coach, for giving us some tickets for that game as well. Salute to Ali. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to everybody that was out there in Indianapolis that had anything to do with this trip. But isn't this just such a Raider situation? You outright cut Germaine Pratt. You get nothing for him. And he goes to a team that just beat your motherfucking ass 40-6. They're the number 1 seed, I believe, in the AFC right now. And the AFC is wide open. It's wide open. Pause if necessary, but it is wide open. As crazy as it is, you guys, we are 1-4, and we're only, I believe, 2 games back of first place in the AFC West. The Broncos, just beat Philly. KC loses to Jacksonville. Chargers, they got a ton of injuries. They just lost their last game. As crazy as this sounds, we're only 2 games back in the AFC West. I'm saying that to say this. I'm not saying there's a chance. I'm saying, Pete, don't get inside your own head and act as though there is a chance. Is this Tennessee game winnable? Definitely. Do I think that we're going to win this game? Fuck no. I don't. This team is broken from top to bottom. Special teams, bad. Tom McMahon still has a job. This kind of lets you know how bad this football team is. You move on from Germaine Pratt for nothing, and Tom McMahon still has his job. The worst special teams coach in football still has a job. You watch the Titans, come back big on the Arizona Cardinals. Cam Ward looks like he's starting to figure that thing out there in Tennessee. I mean, they have a really bad football team, defensively, offensively. They don't really have a great roster. Their coaching staff is nasty. I didn't expect Cam Ward to go out there and kill it this year with what he has at his disposal out there in Tennessee. But let's get back to what matters, the matter at hand, right? Tennessee will be in Allegiant Stadium this weekend, and this team has not shown me anything. There is so much stuff, you guys, publicly that has gone on, right? The Christian Wilkins situation. And mind you, we hired Pete, and this is no knock to Pete, because I'm going to give Pete a little credit here in a second. And you guys may disagree with me, but I'm going to give him a shred of credit here in a second. So, Christian Wilkins, right? Germaine Pratt now. Amari Cooper. JPJ, the Jordan Meredith situation at the center position. What else? I mean, we could continue to go on and on and on. Max dropping in coverage. Pete saying that Malcolm Kuntz is going to be a guy that is going to help replace Germaine Pratt. Now, once again, I'm hoping he meant on the edge, because Germaine was getting a lot of reps coming off the edge. It looked like he was playing, he was pretty much a pass rusher a ton this season. So I'm hoping that he means that Malcolm is going to help in that department and not at the linebacker position. I'm hoping that he doesn't think that Malcolm Kuntz is going to help him at the linebacker spot, dropping the coverage and so on and so forth. That is not his game. Sitting Raheem Mostert, the first 3 weeks inactive. All these rookies, you watch your offensive line struggle so much at the beginning of the football season, and you continue to have Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant, 2 guys that you use really good draft capital on. They're inactive week in and week out. Regardless if they're not ready to go just yet, they should be active. You should be looking to those guys if this O-line continues to struggle. The D-line, you Tonka's in and out of the lineup. We could. It's just a long laundry list of shit here that this coaching staff has just truly fumbled the ball. But I have to say this. Pete was dealt a shitty hand, okay? He came in, the Wilkins situation was already there. It was already pre-existent. Pete just said, you know what, we're not going to deal with this. We're going to move on, right? And rightfully so. He's this culture builder, right? And somehow, some way, things got worse after New England. After New England, something clicked where the culture is just completely dead. There's a ton of things publicly going on right now. There's a ton of things behind the scenes going on. I have heard from several people that there's certain coaches in the building right now that a lot of people are not high on, that are, I don't know. Let me say this. I can't go into extreme detail because I wasn't given extreme details, but I've heard from 3 different people that on the offensive side of the ball, there's a lot of problems there outside of just Geno Smith. Okay. Outside of just Geno Smith, hearing a ton of Chip Kelly, hearing a ton of it's his way or the highway on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not trying to say that Chip has anything to do with Geno Smith, but I'm not here to say that Chip doesn't have anything to do with Geno Smith's struggles. Geno Smith is a gunslinger. He throws a ton of picks, 15 last year, already 9 right now. I think he's well on his way to throwing 30 picks this season, okay? But 3 different people that Chip has been an issue in that locker room. And that, once again, this is from getting into it with coaches, players, so on and so forth. Once again, no details, you guys. All it is Chip Kelly. That's what I've heard from several people in the building. So I'm going to say this. This is just a shit show on both sides of the ball. Patrick Graham, his system has never really looked this broken before. It's never looked this broken before. You get Pete out there, he tries to blend in his philosophies with Patrick Graham's. And I'm not here to act as though Patrick Graham is this savior and he's this great football-minded guy and, that he has fielded the best defense, in football. He never has. He's kind of been a middle-of-the-pack defensive coordinator. He's been in some bad situations, with the Raiders and with the Giants. So I'm not here to make excuses for Patrick Graham. But defensively, this thing looks bad. And it all goes back to Chip Kelly. Back to Pete Carroll, right? Pete Carroll made sure that Chip Kelly was the highest paid offensive coordinator in football, $6 million per, brought him in after a national championship. It sounds like Pete and those guys talked Patrick Graham into sticking around in Las Vegas because it sounded like he was about to accept the job in Jacksonville, where this team is 4-1 right now or something like that. Jacksonville looks really good. Beat Kansas City at home. They're starting to get that thing turning out there. It looks like Trav's going to, starting to show some signs of life. But some of these moves from Pete, you have to just question. Why is there not more depth at the cornerback position? Okay, Darian Porter looked great out there against the Indianapolis Colts. But I have to say this. I'm not going to give Porter a ton of credit because why throw his way when you can just pick on Kyu Blue all day long? Pete Carroll at some point should have said, you know what? Let's get Kyu Blue out of this game. Put DCAM in. He is struggling mightily. Pete named Kyu Blue the starter. He named him the starter. There was a time where we could have went out and got Jalen Ramsey. There was a time where we could have made still maybe a move for Tariq Woolen out there in Seattle. Looks like he's fell out of favor. He's on a expiring contract, so on and so forth. This corner group, you look at it and you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, truly, what is going on? Somebody put on Twitter the other day, or I tweeted on one of my posts that all of our corners combined, I think there's only 1 pick combined. DCAM doesn't have one. Porter doesn't have one. I don't believe Kyu Blue has anything. So it's probably Darnay Holmes, right? I think, does Darnay Holmes have a pick in his career, you guys? It has to be Darnay Holmes. I'm going to look this up. Look this up real quick. None. Oh, you know what? Let me see. Okay, he has 4. I'm sorry. He has 4. He has 4. He's the only guy that's had picks in this group. 4 of them, all with the Giants. all but the Giants. He had one in 2020 under Patrick Graham. He had one in 2021. He had two in 2023. And he also had one with us last year. Okay, so we had four. All right. Well, you look at this group, and you're just thinking, there's nothing to be afraid of. You have a guy in Darian Porter that's a rookie that's clearly, going to go through his bumps and bruises. He's just, a converted wide receiver. It's going to take some time for him to adjust, to the NFL speed and so on and so forth. Caillou Blue had a good camp, and that's great. But then you say, but how was he named your starter? Like, regardless, I don't care. There wasn't enough that I heard of at training camp that let me know that Caillou Blue was going to be a guy that is going to be a great starting corner at the NFL level. Simple and plain. Stokes, I understand that he's dealt with an injury. I think, Zach, we're talking about the guys that played. You know what? Let me go back. I think he was talking about the guys that played this last Sunday. So my apologies. And I don't know how many picks Stokes had in Green Bay, to be real with you. I don't even want to look it up. But I'm here to say this. This is nasty. This is bad. This corner group's bad. The second level, the defense is bad. The defensive line didn't get to Daniel Jones once. They just look defeated. They look deflated. This looks bad. I know it's year one, you guys. And once again, I didn't expect this football team to go out there and just blow teams out. I didn't expect this team to go out there and win you 11, 12 games, potentially win the division. I didn't expect that. I just expect these guys to go out there with Pete Carroll in the fold, Chip Kelly in the fold, all these names. I want to ask you guys this before I get to the supers real quick and I catch up on the chat. Does this seem like another situation like last year where there's too many cooks in the kitchen? You got Marvin Lewis, you got Joe Philbin, you got AP, you got Graham, blase, blah last year. All these guys that, have been head coaches or whatever. They've done a lot at the NFL level. Now you have Chip Kelly, who I guarantee you is looking at this as a situation to potentially become a head coach at some point. And I think, and I could be wrong here, you guys, this is just me speculating. Do you think that Spytek and Pete sold Chip Kelly on leaving Ohio State and saying, we will give you $6 million per to be our OC, and we will guarantee you a shot at being our next head coach when I walk away? Do you think this is a situation where they said, hey, we're going to make you the highest paid OC in football, and we're going to give you a shot at becoming the successor after I walk away? Do you think that's the plan? Do you guys think this is the plan? Do you think that Pete and Spytek had a plan to bring in Chip to be the guy to take over for? Because honestly, what makes you think that it makes sense to pay Chip Kelly that kind of money, right? Great OC at Ohio State. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I've seen some greatness offensively when he was at UCLA. Even though they struggle sometimes, there was just a lot at the NFL level. It was nothing there. The Niners, Philly, so on and so forth. But I really truly believe that this is a situation because I'm hearing power struggle. on the offensive side of the ball. My way or the highway. To me, it sounds like he is a guy that has been given this opportunity with the hopes of and with some talk of him potentially being the successor for Pete Carroll. Now, I don't know, once again, if Chip Kelly is happy or even day one to have Geno Smith as his quarterback year one in this system. I know that, in the past, he recruited him and, they have some type of connection there. His cousin plays at Ohio State. Chip coached him there. I know Geno was out there going to a few games and hanging out. So I know there's a connection with Chip Kelly. But it just looks like everybody is detached right now. Everybody's detached. Offensively, we can't get shit going. I feel so bad for Ashton Genty because, year one, you come into this situation and you're thinking, man, Heisman, runner-up. Boise State had a great season last year. I'm coming off of a monumental collegiate career. Brock Bowers, these guys allowed him to play through that knee injury. They allowed him to play through this knee. Look, you guys, I don't give a shit if Brock says, if he refuses to sit. This is Pete Carroll's problem. This is Chip Kelly's problem. This is this coaching staff's problem. If you have a generational tight end and you allow him to play through that knee injury, you allow him to play through that. That's a fucking problem. That's a problem. You know why? Not only can you hurt your tight end even more and potentially derail his career for the long run, but it tells me that they really still believe that they can win football games with what they have right now. That's the scary shit. If you roll Brock Bowers out there on that fucked up knee, a brace, leg sleeve, it tells me that they're throwing him out there because they think they can win some ball games. That is the scary shit about this coaching staff. You will go out there and throw a generational player out there with a knee injury in hopes that he'll help you win some games this year. Not even thinking about potentially derailing his career for the long haul. He has dealt with some stuff at Georgia before, you guys. Once again, what is the problem? You have Michael Mayer. I know he has a concussion, right? And he should be back this week. But you're not going to win a ton of games this year anyways. Pete has a 4-year deal. 4th year, I believe, team option. Honestly, you guys, I don't think Pete's going anywhere. I think he's going to be around for a while. Honestly, I don't believe that they want to give Carroll the AP treatment or the Josh McDaniels treatment, give him a year, give him 2 years. I think they're going to allow Pete Carroll to get through maybe 3 seasons. I truly do. Is it the right move? I don't know. Is it the wrong move? I don't know. I just know what we have right now does not work. It's not working. I thought that all these problems that we were having years prior with Josh McDaniels in the fold, you know, AP and all these other guys, that it would not exist anymore. Now, in year 1, right, you do have to go through this roster and kind of put a fine comb through it, so to speak. You have to figure out what works, what doesn't. This was always going to be a year to see, okay, this guy's not going to fit on this team. This guy's not going to fit on this team. This guy, maybe he can, so on and so forth. There's going to be some shit that you're going to have to go through in year 1. I think that the Christian Wilkins situation, they did it the right way. And please, you guys, stop mentioning Mitch's name in my chat. Please, 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 bro. Please, please, please. I don't entertain foolishness. I don't entertain guys that wear dresses on screen. I do not entertain that shit. If you want him to go away, hit him where it hurts. Stop sending fucking money. Simple and plain. Stop mentioning that dude in my fucking chat. Please, 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 please. Stop mentioning that dude in my chat. Please. Honestly, like real shit. Like, I don't talk to guys that dress up like women and shit. I don't do that. I don't do it. So please, stop entertaining the foolishness. Stop, please. Keep that shit out of my chat. Honestly, please, 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 please. Stop that shit. I don't want to hear y'all beating up on them and doing this and doing. I don't care, bro. I honestly don't give a shit. If you don't like them, stop watching. If you don't like them, unfollow. Till then, shut that shit up. Salute to CGR, gifting 10 OLV Raiders Network memberships. My brother, I appreciate you so, so much. Salute to you, my guy. Salute to all the new members here in the building. You already know what it is. Salute, salute, salute. If you guys missed out on those 10, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely, definitely helps keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. Look, and Tupac, this is the thing. I don't really care. I beat up on myself because I added validity to him in this shit being a Raider fan. I know what the situation was. I know, what position I played in that. And I feel bad for it because by the time I figured it out, it was too late. But I just don't want to entertain that. I don't care if he's a fan. I don't care if he's this. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit what they got going on over there at all. At all. At all. Never watch. Been unfollowed. Been unsubscribed. I have been blocked on every social media. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. Let me see. Let me catch up to these supers real quick. I know I'm missing. Let me see. Get to the top real quick. So it's my guy, Nick. I'm trying to be optimistic. Pete's first year was a lot of turnover too. I'm still hoping we could turn it around. Nick, hey man, that's a lot of hope. At this point, brother, do I want it to happen? You know that. As Raider fans, we want this thing to change. But honestly, man, that Indianapolis game, I just honestly don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know how you can come back from that. I just don't know how you can come back from that. I don't. Like, the Commanders game was nasty, but you're thinking, okay, we come back, we lose to Chicago in a heartbreaking fashion, and then we go out to Indy and just get fucking obliterated. I don't see it with everything that's going on in this locker room, everything that's going on publicly with this team, the Germaine Pratt situation. I honestly just do not see anything changing with this football team. I knew that there was going to be some growing pains with this football team. This is a very young football team. I knew that there was going to be issues on the O-line, with some of those guys that are starting there, because honestly, some of these guys on our offensive line would not start anywhere else. I don't think that Parham would start anywhere else. I don't think that Jordan Meredith would start anywhere else. I think that Glaze is going through some bumps and bruises, but I do believe that he could be a serviceable tackle or a guard at the NFL level. But those other two guys, I do not believe that they should even be starting on any football team. You know what I mean? So I knew there was going to be some bumps and bruises when he named Caillou Blue the starter. I knew there was going to be some issues when he named Eric Stokes his number one corner, with all of the durability issues that he's had up to this point. I mean, look at now. He just missed this last game, and Stokes was playing well this season. I don't want to beat up on him. The knock has never been his game. The knock is, can you stay on the football field? And now he's already showing why he has not been successful at the NFL level. He's already missing football games. Now, will he be out there this Sunday? Hopefully. And I think that all signs are kind of pointing towards him playing, this weekend. But, the D-line, Kuntz is not looking the same as he did at the end of the 2023 season. Tyree has not been getting a lot of reps, you know what I mean? But once again, you don't want a former top 10 pick to be a rotational guy, right? Geno, that goes without being said, right? It just goes without being said. Jack Besh, a guy that hasn't got a ton of opportunities yet, and you drafted him in round 2, a guy that can play special teams, can play on the inside, play on the outside. You can line him up everywhere, and you're not playing him. There's just so many question marks. And then the last one, the Zamir White, having him return kicks, having him be your running back 2 coming into the season when you have Raheem Mostert on the roster. There's really nothing to be optimistic about. Nothing. What if Chip and Pete lose the locker room? You know what, Lakers and Raiders, to be honest with you, man, I feel like they're already there. Honestly, I feel like they're already there, because did you guys see Max's face when he left Indianapolis? He just looked so just like, you can't be kidding me. It's this again. It's this again. You got Geno trying to run off the football field at the half before anybody else, because his game has just went down the shitter. These players look defeated. These coaches sound like they're just regurgitating the same shit over and over at these pressers. Pete's not giving really any solid feedback or anything. Geno looks solid. When he said that, I just said, you know what, man, there's no accountability with this football team, because it starts up top. It starts with Pete Carroll. It starts with him, regardless if you brought him in. I mean, look at this, you guys. This is another sign of, is this shit ever going to get right? You cut Germaine Pratt, okay? You cut Germaine Pratt, and then you go sign a linebacker, another former Seattle Seahawk, John Radigan, that has been honestly a career special teams guy. I believe he was on the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad, and they added him to the active roster. Okay, now, this is not me saying that this guy is going to take over for Germaine Pratt. Not at all. I think that this is a situation where they're going to add him to special teams. He'll be a guy that can help there, because we have struggled there, and they're going to give, probably Eichenberg and Lindenberg more reps there at the linebacker position. I truly believe that's the situation. But I wouldn't be shocked if they threw him out there. But once again, this is a guy who's been in the league since 2021. He was out there with Geno. He was out there, with Pete. Guy has 44 career tackles. 44 career tackles. 29 solo, 10 assists. Never started in one football game. Never. Just a special teams guy. You want this fan base to believe that you know what you're doing, and you move on from a career starter in Germaine Pratt, regardless of what was going on behind the scenes. You just outright release him, get nothing for him, and then you go sign John Radigan, a career special teams guy. Just make this shit make sense, Lakers and Raiders. You know what I'm saying, brother? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand the philosophy of what these guys are trying to do here. I don't get it. I don't get it. How does this shit make sense? What is going on here? Why are they officially broken, Graphk? Are you watching what I'm watching, Heat Check? Are you watching what I'm watching? I'm hearing things about the coaches offensively and defensively. We're seeing outright that we're cutting starting football players. You're cutting your starting linebacker, Germaine Pratt, and you're 1-4. And he cost you nothing. He cost you nothing. Nothing. And you're still going to pay him what you owed him this year. Now, once again, I heard he was being combative with a few players, a few coaches. Who the fuck wouldn't be at this point? You're losing ball games. You're a healthy scratch against the Indianapolis Colts. Who wouldn't be mad? Who wouldn't be mad? Heat Check, just look at what we're doing. Why are we officially broken, Graphk? 40-6 in Indianapolis. The quarterback that you sent the third-round pick for is broken. He's broken. He is broken. Your head coach, up to this point, refuses to bench him. So it looks like Pete is broken. You cut Germaine Pratt and you go get a career special teams linebacker who's never started in one NFL game. Look at the list of Heat Check. Look at the list of the leaders in the sack department in football right now. The top 5, top 10. Max, he's not even there. Max is nowhere to be found in there. You don't think that Max is not being affected by this? You don't think that Max is not affected by this? This is a guy that coming into this year healthy. We're thinking, oh man, this is going to be the year where Max can get, 16, 17, 18, potentially 20 sacks on his season. This is a 4-time Pro Bowler, you guys. In 5 games, he has 2 sacks. I wonder why. I wonder why. He's not getting too much help across the D-line. They're dropping him back in coverage. They're moving him all across the D-line. They're playing him over here, playing him over there, playing him over here. Have him in so many different looks. When I hit up Max and said, brother, I feel for you. I'm praying for you and your family. He said, it's all good, Graphk. God is great. I'm telling you now, when I seen those words, it came off as, my family's healthy. I got my bag. Bro, I don't know what else I can do. And this is just me putting words in Max Crosby's mouth. I'm not here to say that Max said any of that. This is just the energy that I was put off. Like, here we go again. But at least I got a job where I'm getting paid a shit ton of money. I get to play the game I love, and my family's taken care of. It's just nasty, bro. It's just nasty. It's nasty. Salute to my guy, Jason, man. All I got. OLV for life, Raider Nation. Jay, my brother, love you, bro. Had such a fun time with you in Indy, man. My guy. Salute to you, bro. And let me tell y'all this. Jason was with me when we started hearing rumblings about other situations in the locker room. He can attest that there's other things going on with some of these coaches and some other things going on behind the scenes. He was there live and living color. He knows. It's a shit show. Behind the scenes, live and living color, everywhere. Special teams, defense, offense, coaching staff, everything. Complete shit show. This team is completely broken right now. Completely broken. And a win against the lowly Titans will not fix anything, you guys. It'll slowly put a Band-Aid on the situation, right? Oh, we're 2-4. Okay. Then we got to go to Kansas City and face the Chiefs. Then we get a bye week, which we desperately need right now. Desperately need right now. But if I had to bet my life on beating against the Titans and Chiefs, I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, I'd be stupid. I'd be foolish to do that. I'd be foolish to say we're going to beat the Titans. Because this football team looks bad, you guys, in every aspect of the game. It looks bad from top to bottom. It just does. It does. Once again, going back to that situation where we're in a goal line spot, we're down 40-3. Geno takes a bad sack where we lose 14 yards, and you're in a fourth down situation, and you go for 3. You put Carlson out there to kick. You got A.J. Cole hurt now because Tom McMahon does not know how to coach special teams, you guys. I know a lot of people will blame Ian Thomas. That is not. Did he blow his assignment? Yes. But guess what happens in that situation? If Tom McMahon knows what he's doing. I sat there and I broke down some tape with Stu, my guy C, another former football player with real actual guys that played the game, that played special teams. That was their bread and butter. They played there a ton. To see how that O-line was set up, you can beat up on Ian Thomas. Yes, he gave up, he gave up that play. But if you're looking at how they went out there and how that setup was, Pete Carroll should have called a timeout immediately. Immediately. You can see the way that situation looked, that punt was going to be blocked. Simple and plain. It looked like everybody's footwork was off. This guy's lined up over here. This guy's lined up over there. This guy's lined up over here. That's Pete Carroll's job. If Tom McMahon cannot successfully at least put out a unit that can get off a punt, Pete Carroll has to call the timeout, adjust real quick, and then after that game, Tom McMahon, here's your walking papers. Get the fuck out of here. This is your job. We don't really ask you for a lot. Kickoff, returns. Tom McMahon, you have a simple job. And you can't even fucking do that. But it all starts with Pete. Because once again, he had a chance to clean up that coaching staff. Tom McMahon's not his guy. He came with Josh McDaniels, just like AP did, Patrick Graham and those guys. There's situations in the NFL where you have to say, you know what? He hasn't had a really good career up to this point. We need to move on from him. I understand the philosophy of keeping Patrick Graham around and trying to keep that camaraderie on the defensive side of the ball. I understand that. I get it. Patrick Graham is not a bad coach. Do I think he's a great coach? No. By no means do I think that Patrick Graham is a top defensive coordinator in football. Now, can he leave this disgusting team and go somewhere else and be great? Potentially. But he hasn't been up to this point. But it all starts with Pete Carroll. If Tom McMahon and your special teams unit is bad and you go into your presser and say, yeah, there's some things that we have to clean up on the special team side of things. The fuck are we talking about? Cleanup? There should be a cleanup on our special teams. Get rid of this motherfucker. Like, what are we doing here? Salute to 2-4, man. Deja vu makes too much sense. Content. Salute to my guy 2-4, man. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to Jay. Pete has a 3-year team option, 4th year. I don't think he gets fired, but with little time, can you see Pete retiring? Do you think he has a rebuild in him? No, I don't, Jay. I don't. And I don't think that Pete wants anything to do with a rebuild. I just don't think Pete understood what kind of shit show that he inherited. And I think that he thought because of his resume, he can come in and really turn this thing around in year 1. Did you see him at the presser, Jay? Yeah, I didn't think it was going to take this long, but it's going to take longer than what I expected. Not verbatim, but that's kind of what he said in a nutshell was, I didn't expect it's going to take longer than what I thought. What on this roster made you think that you can clearly get it done this year? The reason why we were so excited, Jay, was because of our draft class. We're thinking, okay, Pete's going to have the young guys go out there. Our offensive line struggled last year. We got Caleb Rogers. We got Charles Grant. Maybe those guys can help out there. We went and added a linebacker in the 7th round, but we added a ton of veteran guys there at the second level of our defense, right? But once again, you're still thinking, you're looking at this roster before the draft and you're like, free agency, we didn't do a lot because there wasn't a lot out there. You went and got Chin, and he's been okay. He's not been bad, but he hasn't been great. He's been an okay guy. Polamalu has absolutely sucked this year. He's absolutely sucked at the safety position for us. It's just been a bad year for him out there. Some big tackles here and there, a pick or two, and then people get excited. He has not had a good year. He's not had a good year. But you look at this roster from top to bottom, and you're thinking, The reason we're excited is because of potentially our rookie class and some of our year 2 guys. Brock going into year 2, JPJ going into year 2. We're thinking he's going to be the center, and then you go get a bridge guy that I was never super duper excited about. And I said this on shows a million times. I said, I like the move because I get it. And it makes sense. This is the thing, Jay. And running back, I said before, bro, I don't want to talk about this, but Liam Cohen is doing a great job out there in Jacksonville. He's worked great, with Ty Law. They're doing some really good things out there. They're getting that offense rolling. The defense looked real good. Devin Lloyd. That was a linebacker I was really, really high on coming out of Utah. They didn't pick his 5th-year option up. They could try to franchise tag him. He's having a big year. I think he has like 3 or 4 picks, but he's working wonders out there. I can't even be mad that, he is out there doing this thing. Now, I thought Spy Tech would have potentially brought him in, but hey, Pete Carroll's here. And to be honest, I don't really know if anybody can save this team right now running back. I just honestly don't know. I don't know. I don't know if anyone can come in this situation and turn this thing around. I just really, truly don't believe that there's one coach out there that can save what we have right now. The thing that we need to do right now, you guys, and that we haven't done in a long time is just a clean break. You need to go get a young coach. You got Spy Tech. I think that Spy Tech's going to be great. And I know some of you guys are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. I understand. But I think he's going to be great. I think he's a great football mind. He is a scout at heart. He knows how to evaluate talent. I think Spy Tech's going to be great. And I think that Brady is going to make sure that he sticks around for a while. Spy Tech to me is cool. But at some point, you have to have just a clean break. I tweeted this yesterday. You know why that 2016 team was so good? Because of 2014. That 2014 season, you guys, was needed. We went 3-13. Nasty. You look at the record, you're like, oh my God. I remember we beat the Kansas City Chiefs. We were like 0-10 at that point, and we felt like we won a Super Bowl. But the thing that we were happy about, and this is once again why I had all the Shador talk early and the quarterback talk and all this, because in 2014, we were excited about something. We knew that we just had a great draft. You have a quarterback in Derek Carr that at least we have some type of hope that we have a young guy, a young signal caller. We had Khalil Mack, a young, pass rusher that was phenomenal at Buffalo. You'll get Gabe Jackson. He played really well for us on that O-line. I was excited about that team. 3-13, it didn't hurt me. That year, I was actually really excited about this football team. And that may sound crazy, but I was rooting for them every game. Let's win this game. I enjoyed that 2014 season, regardless if we were 3-13. Because I had hope that these guys would develop. 2015 comes around, gets a little bit better, right? We win some games. We're like, okay, we add some vets. We add some vets to that team, and boom, 2016 happens. You have a perfect blend of veteran leadership, the Donald Penns of the world, the Huddies, the Michael Crabtrees, and then you have a ton of guys on rookie deals and Coop and Khalil Mack, Derek Carr, Gabe Jackson. You just have a ton of. You're thinking, okay, we're building this thing the right way. McKenzie did it the right way. He did it the right way. Built to the draft, fill some holes in free agency, and let's go. And 2017 happened. Derek Carr just did not recover from that broken leg. He was never the same football player, and things went downhill. But 2014 to me was a very, very critical year. And I think that we need another 2014 season. I'm not saying I want to be 3-13, you guys, but what I'm saying is we need a clean break. We need a clean break. We need to say, you know what? We keep trying to add these bridge quarterbacks. We've done this forever. Yes, you're going to find a Plunkett once in a blue moon. You're going to find a Rich Gannon every 2 or 3 decades. You're going to find those veterans that come in and help turn this thing around once in a blue moon. But all these other teams are doing it the right way. You're watching Buffalo, Josh Allen. You're watching Baltimore, Lamar Jackson. You're watching Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. And once again, I'm not here to act as though Buffalo and Baltimore have won anything, because they have not with those guys. But they're always in the mix. They're always in the mix. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. Josh Allen, an MVP. You're watching the Texans, regardless of how much they struggle and how much that O-line has been bad in front of CJ, they went to 2 back-to-back playoffs because they did it the right way. They drafted some young edge rushers. They got the young quarterback. They got a young corner in Stingley. They did this thing the right way. We have not done this the right way in a long, long time. We need a clean fucking break. We needed 2014, you guys. We need to have us to say, look, we have a young quarterback that we believe in. You know, we're not just going to throw him out there immediately because once again, Derek Carr was not the starter that entire season, right? And then he's in there and you're thinking, okay, we're showing signs. We're showing signs. I don't know about you guys, but when I went into that 2015 offseason, I was excited. I was like, yo, Khalil Mack's going to be great. Derek Carr is going to be great. And they got better in 2015, and then they became phenomenal in 2016. We need a real clean break. We need a clean break. And I know that was the issue that I had with bringing in Pete Carroll was he's old. He's 74 years old. He doesn't have time to rebuild. He wants to win on the fly. You can't do that. You can't do that. And this is the thing with Mark, right? With Mark Davis. We need to just we need to redo this thing because you're going to sell out games regardless because of road fans. It's not going to hit your pockets. It's not going to hit your pockets. You're not going to lose Vegas because you have Vegas. They already paid for your stadium. You're not paying nothing for that. You know, road fans are taking over our stadium week in and week out. You're not going to lose any money here. I think if anything, if you want new fans, bring some new energy, bring some new vibes. Go ahead and just build to the draft, build to the draft, build to the draft. Get this team younger than what it is now. Geno Smith was never going to come in here and save anything. He was never going to save anything. He's been to the playoffs twice. He's never won a playoff game. And guess what? That's why we beat up on Derek Carr. We beat up on Derek Carr for the same shit. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's been to the playoffs twice. The first time he didn't get a chance to play there because of the injury. But he's been to the playoff twice. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's this. You're pretty much just throwing cologne on shit. You're just throwing cologne on shit. We need a clean break, you guys. We need to get a young quarterback to groom and build on. And if we have to go through a 2-15 season and then a 3-14 season to finally get him up to speed, then it is what it is. It's not like we haven't done that before. Do it the right way. Do it the right way. That's what we need, man. Salute to Heat Check. I've been telling everyone, I believe as long as Pete is here, Geno will be the starter. I just can't see Pete going to Geno and telling him he's being set. Well, you know what, Heat Check? I think that this Sunday, right, if it looks really, really, really bad going into the half and he's thrown another pick or two and we don't have at least 10 points on that lowly Titans team and he throws another pick or two, that is the time where Pete has to say, okay, look, it's either you or me. It's either you or me. It's either you or me. And I have to choose me. Like anybody else would. I have to choose myself. I'm going with Kenny Pickett. Regardless if he goes out there and does a great job or not, I have to go with the other guy because I don't know what he has at this point. We have to roll with him. Simple and plain. Geno should be benched today, you guys. He should be benched. We're 1-4. He leads the league in picks, and he just looks worse and worse and worse as the weeks go by. Nothing's going to change with Geno Smith. It's not just a magic fucking, button that you can click and boom, he's right back and let's go. Let's go. No, it's not. It's not. And you know what's funny? Even if he goes out there and has a great game against the Titans, it's the Titans. Do that shit against Kansas City the next week. And then maybe we can have a conversation about having him go out there. But you know, the thing is, though, I can say this. We probably have a better opportunity to get a better draft pick in a deep quarterback class just playing Geno. Just playing Geno. And then just cutting them next year and just taking that money that we owe him and just saying it is what it is. But honestly, I mean, this year you may as well just play Geno, right? But then you have to justify why you traded a 6th-round pick for Kenny Pickett. Like, why you moved the pick for him? Like, are you going to play him? I mean, he won some games in Pittsburgh in year one. I'm not saying he was great. I'm not a Kenny Pickett fan. But at some point, you have to say, okay, I'm losing the locker room. I'm losing this fan base. It's either you or me, Geno, and I'm going to choose Pete here, and I'm going to sit your ass because your ass. You've been bad. You've been terrible. And I think that Geno would understand, like, yeah, I've been playing some really bad football. Pete, go ahead before you get fired. Geno got his bag, you guys. There's nothing. Geno got his bag. He got his bag. Some guaranteed money, what, $75 million, something like that, for the 3 years. He's going to be straight. He got his money. Pete made sure that his guy was taken care of. He did his job already. He got him out of Seattle where he wanted to leave. Sent the 3rd round pick, got him out there, got him an extension. He did exactly what he wanted to do for Geno. Now at this point, hey Pete, you got to look. You got to say, look, bro, I did everything I could for you. You're paid. You got generational money now moving forward. Your kids will be good. I got to go in another direction. Simple and plain. Salute the pessimistic Frank, man. I'm always here for the pain. Salute to my guy, man. Salute the Blazed. Do you believe we go after a quarterback next draft, or is the front office high off? You have to go for a quarterback next year, Blaze. You have to. You have to, brother. You have to. And if they don't, it's organizational malpractice. It's organizational malpractice. You have to go get you a guy next year in this deep, deep class. Go get 2 of them. Pull the Cleveland Browns situation. They got one in the 3rd. They got one in the 5th. They just traded Flacco to Cincinnati. Now it looks like Shador may be the backup here soon in Cleveland. He's not there just yet. I know their coach just came out and said he's not the backup yet. I don't know who the hell else is out there. But, and I know the NFL script, you guys. I'm telling y'all now, Dylan Gabriel's going to get hurt. God forbid. I don't want that to happen to him. He's a good kid. The NFL script is going to get hurt. Shador's going to go out there and be the starter. I see it. I see it clearly now. But, it is what it is. But yes, you have to go get one. Hug, there's no real information about anything as to why, but the rumors and innuendo and all the stuff behind the scenes, there's a lot of allegations and speculations that he got into it with a few players and coaches. Now, I don't know the whole entire 100% truth behind it, but it sounds like he was very vocal about this football team behind the scenes. And I want to say this because there was a lot of people, oh, well, Graphk, he did this in Cincinnati too, and blah, 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 blah. He wanted a new deal. He watched Cincinnati go out there and draft 2 new linebackers, and he said, what are we doing here? I want a new deal. He wanted his money. Who wouldn't create an uproar to get their bag? You're playing. This is your job. You want money. Let me say this. If he was such a fucking problem in Cincinnati, do you think that his defensive coordinator in Indy would have went back and got him? I think we can kill that narrative right now. Indianapolis is 4-1, 4-2, somewhere along those lines. I think they're the number 1 team in the AFC right now. I think they're only 4-1. Their first loss was against the Rams, right? I believe. Do you think that Lou would have bet his job on going to get Germaine Pratt? If he was a locker room cancer, do you think that Lou would have bet his job on running it back with Germaine Pratt? Do you honestly think that? I think that Pratt stood up and said, this shit is weak. This is just me speculating here. This shit is weak. This defense is ass. It's outdated. What are we doing here? I didn't sign up for this shit. And he got the boot. But once again, if he was a problem, I don't see Lou going out and getting him again. I don't see Lou doubling back, being the number 1 team in the conference, just for him to come in and kill that locker room and destroy the chances that they have to be a playoff team this year with Daniel Jones and company. Let's kill that narrative that, oh, this is who he is. No, it's not. He wanted a deal. He wanted a new deal. He wanted to get paid. Pratt is an older linebacker in the NFL, in NFL terms. He just wanted his money. And now he went to a team in Vegas where it's like, this isn't going to be a winning program. I guarantee you, I promise you. Yes, this is speculation, but I guarantee you, he is saying, this is not what I signed up for. I guarantee you, Germaine Pratt was all good with not flying to Indianapolis. I guarantee you, he probably already had a conversation with Lou. Get me over there. In typical Raider fashion, we cut him for nothing, and he goes right to the team that just beat the fucking living shit out of us. It's great. Salute to C24, man. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose in heartbreaking fashion against the Titans. Look, bro, nothing surprises me about this football team anymore, C24. Nothing, brother. Nothing. Because, once again, man, this team, year in and year out, it's just clear there's something else there. There's an energy. There's a toxicity that walks through those halls. It's just something about this football team where people come over here, they get drafted here, they shit the bed. Look at Robert Spillane now. He's starting to show up in New England. Look at New England. They're like 3-2. They got it together in year 1. They were 4-13 last year. Vrabel, first-year coach. Divine Diablo goes out to Atlanta. Looks like a goddamn all-pro. Something is walking those halls from Oakland to LA to Las Vegas. There is a stigma. There is an energy that is stuck. It's like an energy vampire that is stuck to this organization. And I don't know how to get it off. All I can say is that the last time I seen these guys fight through it was in 2021 when Richie B took over, Gruden lost his job, and we found a way to get into the playoffs where Germaine Pratt picks off Derek Carr at the goal line and we lose. But even then, that team fought. They fought through the Ruggs situation. They fought through the Damon Arnett situation. They fought through the John Gruden situation. They just fought. I don't think that this team has that kind of fight in them. I don't think that they have this kind of fight in them. I don't think that Max has enough fight in him to have everybody else jump on his back to fight for him. I think that Max right now is just like, I didn't sign up for this shit, man. I didn't. I think that he is just completely like, and Max is a competitor. He's a competitor. But to see going into week 6 that he has 2 sacks, it speaks volumes of what they're doing with Max and how it has definitely affected his team. And he has took a step back this year. You know, outside of that monster game against Chicago, that's the Max Crosby that we're accustomed to. I don't know, man. There's something there, you guys. Something is walking those halls. And that we just can't shake. We just can't shake it. I was saying, I'm just hoping there's Nick, no disrespect to you, brother. No disrespect. I definitely got what you were trying to say, brother. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you. Salute to Justin, my guy, man. Geno on any other team is benched. It happens all the time in the league. Bad quarterback on tape is actually holding the rookies, wide receiver, running back development backwards. Yes. You know what's funny, Justin? I've seen people online trying to blame Dante Thornton for that. What could have been a pick 6, but the guy stepped out of bounds. Just say you don't know football. Just say you don't know football. Dante is my guy. I have a lot of love for Dante Thornton. I have a lot of love for his team. I have a lot of love for his story. Dante, I look at him as a very, very good human being, and I respect him. But when we took him in the 4th round, a lot of people, including myself, was like, okay, this is going to be a developmental guy. He's not going to start for us. It's going to be Jack Besh. It'll be Jacoby. It'll be Trey Tucker, right? Then he had this great offseason, and the expectations went through the roof, right? Dante is going through the bumps and bruises that any rookie would have. But that was not on Dante. That was 110% on Geno Smith. You cannot make that play in the double coverage and expect Dante to clean up that play. That was clearly on a 34-year-old journeyman quarterback that knows better. Well, at this point, I don't even think if he does know better. Honestly, I don't think that he does know any better. I think that this is just exactly who the fuck he is. But I've seen people out there blaming Dante for that situation, and it's sad. It really is sad because that's not him. That was not on him. Dante could have did nothing in that situation. That was all Geno Smith. Geno would have had 11 picks if a couple defensive players had hands. He's cooked his F, and Chip ain't helping at all. Play calling is total ass. Hug my brother. There's nothing that we can hang our hats on in regards to this football team. The only thing that I'm excited about right now is just sitting Brock Bowers and letting him get healthy. I'm excited about Ashton Jeanty. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. I want to be excited about Darian Porter, and hopefully, he becomes a shutdown corner. But once again, he's a developmental talent. So there's nothing else to be happy about with this football team. It's not. I want to be excited about JPJ, but he's playing on a bad O-line. He can't help that. He can't save that O-line himself. So when Colt Miller went down, I was like, oh, well, off with your head. All I'm excited about at this point is Ashton Jeanty. That's it. Can't be excited about Besh because they're not giving him the opportunities. Trey has had a good year up to this point, but once again, we're 1-4. There's just nothing to be excited about. Hub, but you are 110% right, my brother. Let me see. Salute to Remy, man. My guy. Let me catch up. I'm catching up to the chat, you guys. We got almost 2,000 people here in the building. I appreciate you guys so much. Once again, Raider Therapy today, you guys. This wasn't going to be a show where I'm going into a statistic show and going into details about shit. This was just me literally wanting to do a show with you guys and just sitting here and complaining about what the fuck we're dealing with right here. Simple and plain. In my opinion, a full rebuild, Trey Max, Kuntz, Mayer, Kobe will suck, but at least the fan base will know the direction on and suck with purpose. Pause. Kobe's gone. I would be absent. if Spytek doesn't trade Jacoby in the next 3 or 4 weeks, then I have to question him. I have to question him. You can probably get a 4th round pick for him right now, or potentially a mid-round pick from a team that may be desperate. There's a lot of teams out there that can use another wide receiver. Buffalo can use a receiver. I don't know if New England would want to, reunite with him out there. I don't know, but there's some other teams that could potentially use him. If they don't trade him in the next few weeks, what are we doing here? At this point, you're stunting your other guy's development. You're stunning Jack Besh's development. You drafted him in the 2nd round to be your guy. You didn't pay Jacoby because you said, you know what? We already got our guy. So if you don't get rid of him in the next few weeks and you just ride this shit out, to me, it's like organizational malpractice. There's a few players that you need to flirt with the idea of moving on. Now, will some of these guys have teams to look at him? I don't know. If there was 4 teams looking at Germaine Pratt, maybe there is one team that would take a flyer on Dylan Parham. Maybe there's a team that needs a guard out there or needs some depth and would part ways with a late round pick on an expiring contract. He's a free agent next year. Those veteran linebackers, the Alandon Roberts of the world, the Devin Whites, the Jamal Adams. Maybe there's a team that likes what they've seen out of some of these guys, and they give you something late to bring them in. We don't know, but Spytek needs to definitely move some of these guys. Kuntz, it's clear cut. I don't think that they're bringing him back. So maybe you flirt with the idea of a team, there's plenty of teams out there actually that need an edge rusher. Honestly, I mean, look at the Chargers. They just made a trade with the Ravens and brought in a pass rusher because Khalil Mack and the stuff that they're dealing with, their pass rusher is non-existent right now with the Chargers. And there's other teams dealing with the same thing. But I agree with the Mayer situation. I'm not, I know there's been a lot that has gone on with him up to this point, personal reasons, missing like 7 games this year, the concussions. But I'm not willing to give up on Mayer just yet. He's on a rookie deal. You still have another year. I believe next year is his last year on his deal, right? I believe. Yes. So maybe, but there's no real reason to move on from Mayer. Him and Brock can be a nice duo if you can figure out the quarterback position and figure out that O-line. Salute to Jeff. Our team sucks ass, so bad we might lose during bye week. I'll tell you this. We are going to lose during the bye week, Jeff. You know why? Because that's the week that's guaranteed that there's probably, if we lose these next 2 games, heads are going to be rolling. The bye week, they may wait until the bye week to get rid of a coach or 2. So we're going to lose something, whether it's Tom McMahon or a player or 2 or another coach. Oh, we're definitely going to lose something during the bye week. It may not be a game, but it may be some personnel. It's going to be something that we're going to lose. J-Roll, the scary thing is that there's not one thing that you can put your finger on to fix this. There's not. There's a ton of things with the Hall of Fame coach. Yeah. Once again, man, if Pete Carroll can't come in and fix all this turmoil and all this trauma, who the hell can? I don't know if anybody can. And at this point, you just need a clean break, J-Roll, a clean break. I don't think that Pete Carroll wants to go out like this. I don't think that Chip Kelly left Ohio State, a phenomenal program at the collegiate level, for this, even though he got paid very, very well. So I think that he can laugh all the way to the bank through all these losses. But yeah, man, there's not one thing that can fix this team right now. The only thing I think, J-Ro, that will give us a chance to fix this thing is a complete rebuild. A complete rebuild. Not a retool on the fly. Not I'm talking about go and get you a quarterback in round 1, develop them, get them ready to go, get you some, go start fresh through these drafts. Next year, give Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant a shot, whether Colton is back at left tackle, which he should be. He just signed a new deal. Maybe you give Grant a chance to go out there and fight for that right tackle spot. Maybe you move Glaze to guard. I don't know, but it starts with giving some of these young guys some opportunities. Simple and plain. And just moving on. Clean rebuild. That's the only thing that could potentially fix this shit. Rose says, why does everyone call Rob Leonard such a good coach? He has never had a top 15 D-line. I just think, honestly, because of some of the players that he's had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like Last year was tough. You lose Kuntz, you lose Max. I mean, you pretty much essentially have your best pass rusher in Charles Snowden, right? So, you're going to deal. You have to give him some credit with some of the teams that he's played with, or some of the teams, the guys he's had to coach. He was a linebackers coach in Baltimore. I like Rob Leonard. I do. I do like Rob Leonard a lot. But once again, a lot of us was thinking maybe he's being groomed to be the defensive coordinator down the line. Now, when I say clean break, you guys, I say clean break. Like, move on from everything. Like, bring in a new head coach that could bring in his own staff. And this is no knock to Rob Leonard. This is no knock to anybody. But if you bring in a new head coach at some point in the near future, in the next year or two, we need to move on from anything that has been in that building. We got to just spray down the whole building. Burn that bitch down and build it all the way back up. Simple and plain. But, bro, they say the same thing about Patrick Graham. It is what it is. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. Appreciate you guys so much for rocking with me. Wipe them feet, you guys. Hit the thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, man, what are you waiting on? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Larry, the Kappa versus JPJ stuff should have been all we needed to know about this coaching staff. Instead, I was like, maybe we are wrong. Laugh out loud. Yeah, man. That was a black eye on the organization from jump. Like, real talk. Like, a lot of us were like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what is going on here? But I don't know, man. I just don't know. Salute to my guy, LM. Dan Lanning, all I'm saying, appreciate you, Graphk. Okay. So that would be a good situation, right? LM, you bring in a head coach from Oregon, you draft his guy, his quarterback out there. I don't think that he leaves Oregon. I think that he sticks around out there for a while. I don't think there's really any reason for him to leave. Just like how I feel about Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame. I think he's going to stick around the college level for a while. But that'd be fun. Bring him in and allow him to draft, his quarterback, and then try to build this thing up the way you see fit. The clean break, right? The full reset that we were talking about. I'm here for it. There's going to be some names, you guys, that we're going to hear, here soon. And if they do move on from Pete, I don't know what kind of leash Pete has. I don't know how much Spytek believes in him. I don't know how much Tom Brady believes in him. I do know that he was not their number one option. And I think there's the reason why is on full display right now. I think that we kind of had to settle here for Pete Carroll, and that's no knock. Once again, I don't want to take away from his resume at all, but there was a reason Seattle moved on from him. There was a reason that they got younger. They went and got McDonald, and they're winning some ball games out there. There's a reason they were okay with moving on from Geno. Seattle's seen the big picture before we did. They got a third round pick for it. So, yeah, man. Salute to my guy Spivey, gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. I appreciate you, my brother, so much. Thank you. Salute to all the new members here in the building. As always, I appreciate you guys. You know what's so crazy? This is what's so bananas, man. This team has completely defeated me. Like, I'm not doing any watch parties anymore, you guys. Sundays, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm going to sit at home and I'm going to watch the games by myself. I'm going to watch the games by myself. I'm going to sit down with my sons, watch some football with the family, order some pizza. I'm not doing the watch party. I told Hammer, good luck, brother. Do your thing moving forward. Like, honestly, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm not doing the watch parties no more. I'm cool. I'm cool. Until you show me something to be excited about where I'm sitting on screen for 4 hours and I'm happy about this football team. Happy about it. I'm not sitting here and doing this. I had to sit through a 4-13 season last year. Every single week watching these games. The money ain't good enough. I'd rather, for my peace of mind, I'll sit at home. I'll do a recap, definitely. I'll do a recap, just do my own thing and do a recap and talk about what I've seen. For sure. But the watch parties, that shit's cooked. So the pessimistic, always easier to build a defense. Check the Steelers. The Steelers they've always just been a great organization, pessimist. They've always been a great organization. That's why they've won so many championships. That's why they've only had a handful of head coaches in their existence. The Steelers are just a different football team. You know, there's certain teams out there that you just look at and you're like, they just always seem like they've always been, they've had a couple bad seasons here and there, but they just always figured it out. I can't compare this team to that team because the Steelers are just a different organization. It starts up top. It starts up top. Tommy, Sellers is my guy. That is my guy. I've told everybody from Jump Street, that is my quarterback. And if it's not him, Alar, I love Drew Alar, the measurables. I think that if he gets the right, quarterback coach around him, the right OC around him, that they can work wonders with him. You can't teach what he has. But, it is what it is. But we'll see. Hopefully, Spy Tech reads the room here and understands that we need a quarterback. You need to get him early and quick. If you have a top 5 pick, top 10 pick, top 3 pick, there's no reason to waste that on anything else outside of a quarterback. Oh, God. There's just no reason for it at all. So, salute to my guy, Mr. Rogers. Who's your favorite? Sellers. Rogers. It's Sellers. I like Alar. I like the kid out of Oregon. This is a great class, man. It's just a great class. I don't really care who they get. Get one. Just get one. If Spy Tech believes in Mendoza, the kid at Indiana, 6'5", he's been phenomenal this year for them. If you believe that he could be the guy, go get him. If he believes that Drew Alar could be the guy, go get him. Look, I'm all for the GM picking the guy. I'm not the Italian evaluator. I'm not the guy that can draft these guys. As long as he gets one in the first round, I'm okay with it. Just go get one. Go get one. That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking. Go get a quarterback. So at least we know there's something to look forward to with this football team. Simple and plain, because right now, there's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing to look forward to. Nothing at all. No one's looking forward to watching Cam Miller play, you guys. I'm sorry. 6th-round guy, small school guy. All he did was win, yes, at a small school. And I don't want to take anything away from Cam Miller, but I'm not excited to see him. I'm not excited to see Kenny Pickett. It's just there's nothing exciting sitting on the bench just waiting. In 2014, there was. We were excited about this kid named Derek Carr out of Fresno State. And there was a reason for it. He showed us early on, and then he became great until that injury. Dub, good look on the Kings gear, Graphk. I'm moving back on to this basketball season, bro. Lakers, baby. Yeah, bro. Preseason starts for us today. I'm excited. I'm going all out. Sacramento, my home team, brother. Salute to my guy, Dub9. Appreciate you, bro. J-Rowe, wasn't Pickett slated to be the start? Yes, he was until he got injured. I mean, I get it. It's Cleveland, but yeah, he was before the hamstring injury. I think they had him as a quarterback one. I think he was beating Flacco out in camp. And then he missed a ton of time because of the hamstring. Let me see. Trying to catch up on the chat, you guys. I think I'm almost there. Do you believe in curses? Yes, I do. I believe the Raiders are. I'm dead serious. Just think about all of the unfortunate events since 1986. It's bad. It has been bad, Coach. I definitely believe in them, brother. The Tuck rule, the Tampa Bay debacle, Rich Gannon, him shitting the bed in the Super Bowl. One of our best O-linemen just going MIA before the game. Our head coach changing the entire scheme before going in against Tampa Bay. 2002 was rough for me. That was a really rough time because of the Kings-Lakers series, Game 6, where we got, I don't even want to go into that. The Tuck rule. I don't even know how I still have any love for sports. I think I'm just a gluten for punishment. It's like I enjoy it. I just enjoy it now. But I think now, getting older, I'm just realizing, I don't know how much more punishment I can take. I have a beautiful wife. I have beautiful kids, beautiful home. I have a beautiful community with what we're doing here. I just don't know how much more I can deal with bullshit. I just don't know how much more I can deal with every single week not looking forward to doing these shows, not loving what I'm doing anymore. This feeling more like a job than anything and not what I'm passionate about. It's just tough, man. Salute to Remy. For 2026 draft QB1 purposes, must-watch game this weekend is Indiana versus Oregon. Mendoza versus Dante Moore. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely watching that one, Remy. mad close. Yes, salute to my guy. Those are two guys that'll go potentially in the top 10, maybe even both top 5 guys. Definitely going to be fun to watch those guys battle it out. Let me see. Once again, you guys, get those likes up if you haven't yet, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Let me see. A new linebacker. Who the F is this guy? A career special teamer, Ty Bones, that has not one start in his career. That's what. You move on from Germaine Pratt, a career starter, and a guy that was your best linebacker on your roster, and you go out and get a guy that has never started in a football game. He's a career special teams guy. Salute to my guy Ty, man. Salute to my brother Hug, man. I appreciate you, bro, on a $50 smackaroony, man. That means a lot to me, bro. Thank you for helping to keep the lights on over here, bro. Real talk, man. I'm tired, bro. Dog tired, like John Coffey in the Green Mile. I'm tired of being hurt by my team, feeling embarrassed on game day, and brunt of all the jokes from my friends with different teams. This shit can only cycle for so long. I want to F and win. And once again, bro, I don't see. There's no clear direction with this team. That's why I'm so upset, and that's why I'm so defeated, and I'm so broken as well, because I just don't know when it's going to happen, Hug. When I left that building, it was so crazy. I said this on the live when we left the show, when we left on the last show, when we left the game, that those fans, like, they really felt sorry for us. There's not one Colts a guy that were out there, you guys got smoked. They really, truly felt bad for us. Like, that's like insane. Like, you know how they're probably looking at us like, you guys flew all the way out here and got these Airbnbs and these rental cars and these expensive ass tickets. And for what? For what? Like, to watch this shit? I knew when we walked in. I had a conversation with the guys. I told Stu, I said, bro, this is either going to be a very, 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 very close game where we lose, or it's going to be a complete blowout. Complete blowout. And I guess it was the blowout. So, yeah, man. But once again, you know, I tell people I'm a Raider fan. I'm never not going to be a Raider fan. But the older you get, the more you want to find peace. You want to win, like, in life, in general. Like, how do you tell people I'm a winner? Like, bro, like, I've done this. I've achieved this. I've done this. And you constantly build your life around losing shit. I think I just need a break from sports in general. Baseball, football, basketball, Notre Dame, fucking, they always get there and then they don't do it. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, bro, like, fuck, man. It's crazy. Gonzalez, I will never get to that point, brother. You'll never see me go the Mikey Raider direction, brother. I promise you, dog. That will never happen. You'll never see me in there shirtless on the toilet going live asking for shit. You'll never, never, never see that from me. Somebody sent me that clip one day and I was like, holy shit. Like, this is what they're doing on YouTube now. This is why I don't like being called a YouTuber. Why I don't like being called a content creator. Some of these guys be naked on the toilet going live. Some of these guys are wearing dresses and drinking cat piss for supers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's a tough world that we're living in here. You know what I mean? Like, on this whole shit, when you're an actual real man that takes care of his family like a real man. You don't do all that goofy shit. Like, your background is solidified. You don't have to do anything stupid, but just be you to really be, be successful in this shit. Yeah, that's crazy. AJ says, trade Max for picks. Hire Joe Brady. Draft Dante Moore or Sellers. TJ Parker this year. In 2027, draft Jeremiah Smith. AJ, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I love Max. It's the heart of the team. But, at some point, he may go to this team and say, hey, I think it's about that time. I've been saying that I don't see him doing that because he wants to be a Raider and this is all he knows, and he wants to see this thing through. But at some point, if you feel you can go get your quarterback and you can get, some more pieces to build this thing the right way, like Gruden tried to do, right? Moving Khalil Mack, moving Amari Cooper, picking up some early round draft picks and trying to build it. He didn't do it the right way. I mean, you missed a ton with the Arnett's of the world, the Leatherwoods of the world, the John Abrams of the world, right? But at some point, you got to say, you know what? We may just have to do this in order to take some shots in the draft. And, this draft class coming up is going to be phenomenal. So We'll see. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up here real quick. Hold on. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Look. Why do y'all think I don't? Why do y'all think I don't? You don't see me on screen with anybody anymore, man. I'm a man before anything, bro. Like, these people take this shit very, very serious and get really, really weird. Look, I'm gonna pop my shit real quick, you guys, real fast. And I say this humbly. And I may sound like an arrogant piece of shit. And I get it. You guys can say that. But bro, I was always him, bro. I was always him. Even before this shit, I was always him. So when I see all these guys going out bad, going out sad on the internet and doing wild ass shit for this and that, just to try and get some money, that shit's sad, bro. I can leave this shit alone right now and go find some fly shit to do and still make my money and get my bag. That's just who I am, bro. Like, real men always find a way and figure it out. You know what I mean? Without all the begging shit and all the other shit. I've never begged anybody. I've worked for every single thing. That's why I take a lot of this shit personal. When I watch some of these guys on here buy subscribers, buy views, do this shit, when I work my ass off for every single one of you guys to be here. When I work for every single thing, this is why I had to take a step back from everything. When you watch these guys buy views, buy subscribers, you know, and try to set the bar high with bots and all this other shit. This is why you see that I don't work with a lot of people, because this shit be fake, man. Be fake. And I work for every single thing that I have on this platform. I built this shit from the ground up. No handouts, by myself. So it's crazy, man, to watch some of these nerds on here just go out sad like that. But once again, you know, they nerds. That's what the fuck you should expect them to do in the first place, I guess, right? So it is what it is. Justin, chip play calling is good. Wide receivers are open. They were definitely all open against Indianapolis. Gino's eyes are always locked on one guy on the wrong side of the field. Watch Pickett come on and win. Look, if he's the guy to come in, bro, and win some games, let's do it. Real talk. If we could find a way to get to 7 wins this season, we get 6 more wins, I'm going to take this as a win. I'm going to take it as a win. If we could find a way to win 6 more games, bro, get to 7 of them shits, I'm here for it. Straight up. Raiders got, yeah, you know, he went out bad. Definitely went bad. Hey, man, look, bro, when you come up a certain way and nothing was handed to you, God, right? It's different when you work for every single thing that comes your way, everything. You look at these dudes like clowns, bro. I didn't have nobody throwing me no alley-oops. I didn't have anybody do none of that shit. I came in this shit during COVID and went crazy. Was consistent, more consistent than anybody. This is what's so wild. There's people on YouTube that have 10 years on me, and I have more videos than them by like 1,000. Because I work my ass off. No handouts. I just grind, bro. It is what it is. So. All there. I'll be in SAC next week, bro. I'm flying in the 15th. I'll be in Vegas the 14th. I'm spending the night out there doing my studio session. I got some songs I need to do with a few of my brothers out there, and then I'll be in SAC the next day. So I'll be in SAC from the 15th to the 19th. Let me see. Ty Bones, you arrogant bastard. Hey, look, man, I'm just saying, bro. Look, bro, this is the thing. When you used to doing fly shit, it's just regular shit, man. Like, it just is what it is. Omni said he can't forgive me for being a Drake fan. Edgar, bro, come on, dog. You keep spamming. When is the AFC show coming? It'll be there, bro. I've been talking to my guys every single day, man. You know, Ben was worried about me, calling me in Indianapolis. He thought I got stabbed and shit because Mark Sanchez was out there. You know, hey, my brother, are you okay? I love Ben, man. And Darcy was stuck in Dallas last night. The odds of this, you guys, I get off the plane. I'm about to leave. Darcy is stuck in Terminal D. I'm in Terminal E. And I didn't get a chance to go see him. Like, they had to deboard. I was so pissed. I'm like, man, this would happen. I would have to get on the train to go find you. And by the time I do that, you're already on the plane. But those are my guys, man. Got mad love for him, definitely. So, but yeah, man, like I just honestly, y'all, and once again, I kind of been on my soapbox today, kind of talking some shit. You know, it is what it is. You know, I don't want to do the whole, you know, because once again, I never talk about people that don't matter, you know. So sometimes the chat gets the best of me when they catch me in my bag, right? You'll catch me in an emotional stage and you'll take advantage of it, and it's cool. I'll talk my shit. But once again, none of those dudes matter to me. I don't give a shit about any of them. I don't care. They don't feed my family. They don't help me in anything. You know what I mean? There's no aspect of nothing. I respect real men that do real shit. I don't respect beggars. I don't respect none of that shit. So just please keep that shit away from me. And I will be doing the majority of my shows, you guys, moving forward, dolo. I will not be doing the watch parties on Sunday. I said that earlier. Once again, much respect to Hammer. He'll be holding it down. I'm not doing any more watch parties. I'm just going to kick it, watch the games at home. I'll do a recap. I'll do a hangover Monday or a victory Monday. But moving forward, I'm just going to be doing my own shit. That's it. Most of the time, you'll see me just dolo, doing my coffee and convos the way it is, the way I started. So simple and plain. Bring in real Raiders. No more retread coaches and old players. Start from the draft. Give young guys a shot on the field and on the sideline. The longer they take to do this, the longer we will suffer. This is facts. Facts, bro. Facts. Facts plus tax, man. Salute to my guy Mateo. Never lie, bro. Never lied. Let me see. When he makes this more fun, definitely, bro. But I wouldn't even know what that means since I've been in this. I've never had a winning season. The best season was 10-7 when we went to the playoffs. I've never really covered a real good football team ever. 2021 was the best part of this job. It was 2021. We went 3-0 starting off, and then shit started derailing. You know what I mean? But I've never been able to really cover a great football team ever. Still here every day, though. But I think that this year it was just different because of the expectations that I had with, you know, a winning coach coming in and thinking that, you know, Tom Brady's in the mix. He's going to help this thing, and we're going to see this thing, you know, get cleaned up. And then there's more drama than ever. There's more drama than ever. So I don't see it, bro. I'll still be here to cover this team every week. I'll still do the you know, like tomorrow I'm gonna do a Raiders and Titans preview and go over everything, you know, what teams are good at and what they're bad at and blah, and we'll do the matchup previews and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. Let me see. But get a few more questions in, you guys, before I get out of here. Let me see. Once again, you guys, please stop. There's several people saying you're beefing with this. No, I'm not beefing with anybody. The internet, this is not real. I don't beef. Beef is when someone's at your doorstep. That's beef. Taino, I got to be real with you, bro. This Shillmore it's not even a thing anymore. And that's no knock to all the guys. It's not a thing anymore. It's not. Once Andy, you know, moved on and was doing his own thing, that was really like one of the pieces to this thing. Without him, it doesn't really fully go together. So there you go, Daniel. There you go, brother. Facts. I'm rooting for everybody, though. I'm rooting for everybody. Trust and believe. I want everybody to win. Matchup preview. We suck. They suck. Games to toss up. Well, games to toss up. Wait, games to. What are you talking about, Hug? What are you talking about? Matchup preview. We suck. Oh, okay. I got you. I read it slowly. Now I get it. You know what, Drox? I'll say it. Facts. But you know the funny thing about that, bro? In the grand scheme of things, it don't matter. It really don't. It really don't. It really don't. Salute you guys, man. Give me a few more and I'm out of here, bro. Real talk. I'm going to go spend some time with the family. Go give me another workout in, get my dog out, take her for a walk. Omni, I don't really care. I don't need to explain anything, bro. To be real with you. Just doing my own shit. Just doing my own thing. You guys can ask all you want. Ask those guys too. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I really don't give a shit. But y'all be smooth. Y'all have a good one.